Most would call this scrap metal, a complete write-off. The chassis is bent, the frame integrity is gone. But these engineers are about to attempt a full structural resurrection. They're going to prove that with enough skill, even catastrophic failure can be reversed. And the first step is a forensic deconstruction to understand every point of impact. The cab is lifted, revealing the twisted spine of the truck, the main chassis rails. This is where the real challenge lies. The entire vehicle's safety depends on this foundation. With the cab gone, a crane carefully lifts the mangled front end away. Now, the team can access the chassis itself. This is not just repair, it's heavy engineering. The bare chassis, every inch will be measured, straightened, and reinforced. Here, arc welding is used to fuse new steel plates, restoring the frame's torsional rigidity. The cross members are reinstalled. Each bolt is torqued to precise specifications. But the project is far from over. A new foundation is being prepared. The axles and suspension components are mounted. This assembly dictates the vehicle's handling and load capacity. Looking from below, the restored chassis is a testament to quality workmanship. Now, a donor cab of Mercedes-Benz Actros is brought in. This will become the new command center. Before any paint is applied, the chassis surface must be perfectly prepared. A grinder removes any rust and old paint. While the chassis cures, the cab receives its new windscreen. A perfect seal is vital to prevent leaks and maintain structural integrity. Quality control is constant. Here, the team inspects the uniformity of the new paint layer. The process continues, building up thin layers for a flawless, factory-grade finish. The heart of the machina, fully serviced diesel engine, is carefully maneuvered by a forklift. This complex assembly of steel, hoses, and electronics is the source of the truck's immense power. Another cab, this one white, is lowered onto a different frame. This workshop handles multiple resurrections at once. The engine is lowered into the chassis. This is a critical moment known as the powertrain marriage. Teamwork is essential for a consistent finish across such a large surface area. A temporary tarp provides shade, preventing the sun from drying the paint too quickly, which can cause imperfections. He meticulously covers every edge and corner, sealing the metal from the elements. The low-angle sunlight reveals the mirror-like quality of the fresh paint job. Smaller components are painted separately to ensure complete coverage from all angles. This batch painting process is efficient and ensures all parts share the exact same hue. With the paint cured, reassembly begins. The window frames are carefully fitted back into the cab. Attention now turns to the undercarriage and mechanical components. The team performs another quality check on the front assembly, ensuring everything is perfectly aligned. Every single part, no matter how small, plays a role in the final product. This careful, methodical assembly is what separates a repair from a true restoration. Two engineers work together to mount a heavy front bumper assembly. Now for a contrasting color. The front grille area is masked off. in preparation for a layer of white paint. More components are added to the rapidly materializing truck. One technician works on the final fittings for the front bumper. The final piece of the puzzle. This panel completes the main bodywork. The finished product. A stunning transformation from a collection of parts into a gleaming, roadworthy machine. A technician installs a lower trim piece, ensuring perfect alignment with the body. The headlight assembly is prepared. Modern lighting is a critical safety feature. The chrome bezel is installed around the headlight, a key design element. The Actros badge is carefully applied. It's a mark of pride and the culmination of countless hours of work. It looks better than new, a shining example of expert restoration. Even the wheels are immaculate, with polished rims and fresh tires. One final look at the completed yellow Actros. But the work in this shop is never done. The patient this time, an older green truck, its interior gutted and awaiting revival. The truck is loaded onto a flatbed, likely being moved to a different station in the workshop. The bumper lies on the ground, stripped and ready for a complete overhaul. The truck's nervous system. A technician diagnoses and repairs the complex wiring loom. The forklift carefully transports the cab across the busy workshop. Teamwork is required to install the heavy radiator, a vital component of the engine's cooling system. This red frame is severely corroded. It will require extensive sandblasting and reinforcement. The team works together to reassemble the suspension on the red chassis. Every bolt and bracket must be perfectly seated to ensure safety and performance. A cylindrical air brake chamber is fitted. The truck's stopping power depends on this pneumatic system. Using a long wrench for leverage, the technicians apply final torque to critical bolts. The body of the green truck shows signs of damage that will need to be addressed. The red chassis is now a hive of activity, with multiple technicians working in unison. This coordinated effort dramatically speeds up the assembly process. An electric driver makes quick work of securing panels to the green cab. Careful persuasion with a hammer is used to align a stubborn part on the red frame. The dashboard assembly, the driver's main interface, is carefully lifted into place. A specialized suction cup tool is used to handle and position the heavy windscreen glass. Another interior view showing the structural frame of the cab before panels are attached. The team installs a drive shaft component to the red chassis. This final push completes the rolling chassis assembly. The now restored red chassis awaits its engine. The vibrant color is a world away from the rust it started as. A fresh coat of paint is applied over the primer, sealing the metal and providing a durable, high-gloss finish. The spray gun atomizes the paint into a fine mist, ensuring a perfectly smooth and even layer. This close-up reveals the extent of the damage. This will require skillful bodywork to fix. The black front grille, bearing the Mercedes star, is fitted to the green cab. The finished red chassis is now ready for the next stage, the powertrain installation. Guided by hand, the massive engine is carefully lowered onto its new mounts. The technicians make minute adjustments to ensure a perfect fit. Even the smallest components require focus and precision. The body of the green cab is sanded and smooth. This preparation is the key to a flawless paint job. A white primer coat is applied, which will help the final green color appear more vibrant. Hand sanding the primer creates an ultra-smooth surface for the top coat to adhere to. Finally, the signature green paint is sprayed onto the cab. The team carries the newly rebuilt radiator assembly, ready for installation. The painter applies the final coat of green, bringing the cab back to its former glory. Inside the cab, the complex process of connecting the wiring harness begins. The result, a beautifully restored truck, a fusion of the red chassis and the green cab. The cab, now mated with the chassis, is still a work in progress. The cab is lifted one last time to be permanently joined with the frame. The workshop is a complex dance of heavy machinery and skilled technicians. With practiced coordination, the team guides the cab precisely onto its mounting points. A technician performs a final check on the suspension system. Final connections are made to the truck's electrical and pneumatic systems. The front bumper is now being permanently bolted into place. The small hardware is laid out, organized for efficient assembly. The windscreen is sealed with adhesive and tape to hold it while the bond cures. Areas not being painted are masked off to protect from overspray. Paint is mixed and loaded into the spray gun, the final step in the cab's transformation. The technician applies the paint with a steady, practiced hand. He uses a stool to gain height, ensuring the roof receives the same quality finish. Each pass of the spray gun slightly overlaps the last, creating a uniform coat. The entire cab is methodically covered in a new skin of vibrant green. Even the front bumper receives the same meticulous paint job. A different angle shows the painter ensuring full coverage around the headlight sockets. The final passes are made, completing the painting process. The result is a deep, glossy finish that gleams under the workshop lights. Each part, from trim pieces to door handles, is carefully reinstalled. The truck slowly transforms from a painted shell back into a functional vehicle. But now, the team faces their greatest challenge yet. This white cab is not just damaged. It has suffered a catastrophic structural failure. Repairing this will test the absolute limits of their engineering skill. The entire front end is twisted and collapsed. The task seems impossible. The structure must be rebuilt from the inside out. First, the cab is stripped down to its bare, mangled frame. The team must salvage what they can and fabricate what they cannot. The process of straightening the frame is a delicate balance of force and precision. They are not just bending metal. They are restoring the cab's critical safety cage. Slowly, methodically, the shape of a cab begins to re-emerge from the wreckage. Each new piece is a victory against the forces that destroyed it. The reborn frame is a skeleton ready for new skin. But the ultimate test of their work is yet to come. Will the new panels align? Will the doors close perfectly? The team now works to piece the cab back together, one panel at a time. A new challenge presents itself: a severely damaged white cab. The team assesses the twisted metal, planning their strategy for this monumental repair. The scale of the workshop is immense, a factory dedicated to bringing trucks back from the brink. The cab is set down, its catastrophic front-end damage on full display. A technician begins the surgical process of cutting away the unsalvageable metal. The team works to remove a large, warped panel from the side. With the outer layers removed, the bent inner frame is revealed. The forklift is called in again, this time to provide precise lifting support during the repair. A close-up shows a technician fabricating a new patch panel. A hydraulic ram is used. This tool can exert tons of force with incredible control. They use an impact driver to secure the new parts to the straightened frame. Sparks fly as a cutting disc removes a damaged section of the roof pillar. A grinder then smooths the cut edges in preparation for a new piece to be welded in. More reinforcement is added to the lower frame. Slowly, through dozens of carefully orchestrated steps, the cab's form is reborn from the tangled mess. Final bolts are tightened, locking the new structure into place. The result is a perfectly aligned door frame, a testament to their precision work. The reconstructed cab is now stronger than it was before the crash. A gas torch heats the metal cherry red, making it malleable enough to be reshaped and welded. The intense heat and bright flame require immense skill and concentration to control. The technician expertly lays a bead of weld, permanently fusing a new piece of steel into the frame. The cab now enters the bodywork and painting phase. A cutting wheel trims a replacement panel to the exact size needed. The cab, mounted on a rotisserie jig, allows the technicians to access every angle. Then, a brilliant white top coat begins to cover the gray primer. The transformation is dramatic as the patchwork of repairs disappears. Under a uniform layer of white, even smaller exterior trim pieces receive the same high-quality paint job. The team begins the final assembly, carefully installing the freshly painted components. A view of the completed chassis, ready and waiting for its reborn cab and engine. The workshop is a meticulously organized system of parts and processes. The engine is carefully hoisted, ready to be married to the chassis. The radiator and cooling assembly is guided into place at the front of the frame. This requires careful coordination to avoid damaging the delicate cooling fins. Night falls, but the work continues under the glow of workshop lights. The painted cab is lifted for the final time. Final adjustments are made to the front panel alignment. Inside the cab, a technician installs suspension components. The complex front axle and steering linkage are carefully reassembled. The technician holds the new grille, a symbol of the truck's renewed identity. A new front body panel is carefully fitted into place. The chief engineer points out a detail, ensuring his standards of quality are met. An impact driver secures the last few bolts on the front bumper. The finished truck gleams in the daylight, its traumatic past completely erased. The bumper receives a final coat of protective gray paint. From a twisted wreck to a pristine machine, a masterpiece of engineering ready for a new life on the road. A very special thank you to the owner of the YouTube channel at Truck World 1 for creating this wonderful video and allowing me to comment. If you enjoyed this narrative, please visit and support their channel at the link in the description below.